Let's watch Toilet Paper USA.
Babies is a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
We all know why CNN and the left want to focus on these distractions. It's because they have no winning issues to talk about. The left don't want an apology. They want public humiliation. They want to cancel me, but that's not going to happen. I will not be canceled.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, dude. They straight up do have like better intros than the Democratic Party. Like, this is corny and everybody gets fucking mad and they say like, you know, this is I don't know. The walkout music is like not that bad, actually. They know what the fuck they're doing. Like, this is like entertainment and nothing else, right? And that's it. It just sounds like a comedy special intro. Okay. Matt Gaetz was there, by the way, saying some fucking weird shit, unsurprisingly. And Lauren Boebert says some weird shit too.
Yes! This logical men can... About Ted Cruz lately in the news. And contrary to popular belief, I have never been an escort for Senator Ted Cruz. But I will tell you tonight, it is the coolest thing I've ever heard about Ted Cruz.
What? Why would you admit that? That it's like even a popular belief. Also, why did she phrase it in a way where it sounds like she is an escort, just not for Ted Cruz? And she also said Ted Cruz hiring escorts is pretty cool, which is pro-sex work, and I'm here for that. But I don't know if the crowd would be.
Ted Cruz. But I will tell you tonight, it is the coolest thing I've ever heard about Ted Cruz. But
it's really kind of genius when you're a crowd, a bunch of hogs. To admit being an escort before admitting I'd admit being an escort before admitting I fucked Ted Cruz. Yeah, what do you mean? There are plenty better things to fucking admit than fucking Ted Cruz. Are you crazy? Also, no one laughed at that. Somebody wrote that joke. I think she wrote that joke. Just kidding. She doesn't know how to write. But if she did, she would have written that joke.
About Ted Cruz lately.
So I don't get it. Like, is she an escort? What the fuck? Why is she saying it's popular? I have so many questions. Okay, Aaron Rupar probably fucking documented everything from the Toilet Paper USA, including the Matt Gaetz proportion. So
abortion.
We saw some parts of it, but let's watch.
All retirees, except maybe one. Though he has announced his upcoming retirement, though he's real rich, though he grifted off of our taxpayers and off of our government and off of lies for years.
Why is he calling out Donald Trump?
We will not take Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Oh.
And that's saying something, because O.J. Simpson lives in Florida. I think O.J. killed fewer people. I think that Dr. Fauci should get to go and retire where he can be around all of his work. And that's why I'm willing to personally sponsor a one-way ticket right to Wuhan, China. We welcome.
Fucking got him, dude.
Abortion, pro-murder. Have you watched these pro-abortion, pro-murder rallies? The people are just disgusting. Like, why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb. These people are odious on the inside and out. They're like,
I love when, dude, this is a funny argument because like both sides have their uggos. You know what I mean? Like Matt Gaetz is not reading the room, but then again, it's like conservatives love fat shaming while they're simultaneously being fat. So it's basically that, you know what I mean? It's the same shit.
Like 5'2", 350 pounds, and they're like, give me my abortions or I'll get up and march. And
also, they're all unattractive to Matt Gaetz because they're not Nestor and they're not underage. So it doesn't even matter to him anyway. Matt Gaetz and Sverige have a lot of things in common. So
in protest, and I'm thinking, march? You look like you got ankles weaker than the legal reasoning behind Roe versus Wade.
yeah, I said this yesterday as well, but yeah, his argument is you'll never give birth, so who cares as a cis man. So that's also additionally weird. I mean, I agree, but also that argument literally puts you in a weird predicament as well.
A few of them need to get up and march. They need to get up and march for like an hour a day, swing those arms, get the blood pumping, maybe mix in a salad. Have you watched?
Okay, dude, he's got some good ass fucking takes, bro.
I would far rather go to war over the monarch butterfly than deciphering what guy in a tracksuit gets to run Crimea oceans away. The case for America's interest is far more clear with the butterfly. I would far rather speak to you directly, Hunter. I asked the FBI where...
Wait, did you ask them while they were investigating you? Bro, how are you going to make FBI jokes, brother? You literally have an ongoing investigation.
Your laptop was, and it seems they've misplaced it. How weird. But it just turns out that I have a copy right here. I entered it in the congressional record. We have your texts, we have your emails, we have the payments from Burisma, we have your travel records, we even know the Chinese communists who own you. You and the big guy have never lived one day under real Republican oversight. So these...
Wait, that's so funny. Like, dude, Matt Gaetz demanding the FBI arrest Hunter Biden is so funny, dude. Like, that's awesome. He's still investigated, right? I thought he was being investigated still. What has happened to the Matt Gaetz investigation? Yeah, no, it's still going on. No, it's still going on. Dude, this is the greatest projection I've ever seen. The Dr. Friend won't be sentenced until December. We won't see much till then. Matt Gaetz demanded the FBI arrest Hunter Biden is hilarious since he's currently under investigation by the FBI for sex trafficking minors. I mean, it's not even a joke. Like, that's what's going on. allegedly sex trafficking a minor. Didn't his friend get indicted for underage sex trafficking? And wasn't he named as an unindicted co-conspirator? I think his name is Joel Greenberg or something. Yes. Oh, this was another issue. But Riot and Kid Rock fans trash North Dakota State Fairgrounds. Wild photos show. Yeah, and he's going to be sentenced in August. Sentencing for Gates' wingman delayed until August. The former tax collector pleaded guilty to 6 felony charges. And it originally started off with like, oh, there's a Mike Lindell clip. Let's go. It originally was just like basic shit, you know, basic corruption charges. And then it like ballooned into fucking... He was the elected tax collector of Seminole County, Florida, Greenberg. And the feds thought that he had only committed 2 crimes, including stalking against a political opponent who was also a teacher. And that would have been, you know, that's like basic Florida politics, right? But then the Justice Department unveiled a torrent of other potential crimes, not only involving Greenberg himself, but also implicating more prominent Florida Republicans, including employees of his office, a former Florida state representative turned lobbyist, aides to and fundraisers for Ron DeSantis, and young MAGA-loving Congressman Matt motherfucking Gaetz, who later became a leading congressional proponent of, you know, whatever, the fucking MSNBC writing it in the most lib way possible. The big lie. The most serious of Greenberg's alleged crimes was alleged sex trafficking of an under 18-year-old girl. He was also accused of using surrendered driver's licenses, which he obtained through his office, to create fake IDs, which he used to facilitate his efforts to participate in commercial sex acts. By spring 2021, public reporting revealed Justice Department was also investigating whether Gaetz had a sexual relationship with the same underage girl and whether Gaetz and Greenberg had overlapping and illegal sexual contacts with women recruited online for sex and who received cash payments and/or were paid to travel with Gaetz and others, including on a 2018 Bahamas trip. Gaetz' iPhone was seized by the authorities. And the DOJ's investigation grew to encompass whether Gaetz took gifts, including travel and paid escorts, in exchange for becoming a medical marijuana champion. Part of the reason why we know about this is because Matt Gaetz was so fucking stupid that he literally wrote, like, you know, in Venmo, exactly what he was paying for. The FBI's doing cancel culture on him. This is so fucked up. Yeah. If you recall, last year when this information came out, Matt Gaetz did an impromptu appearance on the Tucker Carlson show and almost implicated Tucker Carlson as well, to which Tucker Carlson was like greatly frazzled and replied in the worst way possible.
So a couple of obvious questions that...
Here.
And I believe we are in an era of our politics now, Tucker, where people are smeared to try to take them out of the conversation. I'm not the only person on screen right now who's been falsely accused of a terrible sex act. You were accused of something that you did not do, and so you know what this feels like. You know the pain it can bring to your family, and you know how it just puts people on defense when you're accused of something so salacious and awful. But it did not happen. It is not true. And the fact that it is the basis of this attempt to extort my family tells a lot. And if the FBI and Department of Justice will release the tapes that they are in possession of, the American people will see what is really going on.
You just referred to a mentally ill viewer who accused me of a sex crime 20 years ago. And of course, it was not true. I'd never met the person. But I do agree with you that being accused falsely is one of the worst things that can happen.
He's like, bro, why'd you bring that shit up? The fuck is wrong with you?
You do see it a lot. Let's go back to the investigation.
I said, we? You speaking French right now. Fuck you mean we, motherfucker? It doesn't end there. Then he continues. he continues to say, well, you know, we went to dinner with this wonderful individual together. He's like, no.
You say that it was or is underway. There was an investigation. What is the basis of that investigation? What is the allegation? That's really not very clear from these news stories.
Yeah, again, I only know what I've read in the New York Times. I can say that actually you and I went to dinner about 2 years ago. Your wife was there, and I brought a friend of mine. You'll remember her. And she was actually threatened by the FBI, told that if she wouldn't cop to the fact that somehow I was involved in some pay-for-play
I love this, dude. This was so awesome.
Scheme, that she could face trouble.
Like, it's not even just Tucker, but his wife, too. He's just, like, literally adding them into the investigation.
And so I do believe that there are people at the Department of Justice who are trying to smear me, providing for flights and hotel rooms for people that you're dating who are of legal age is not a crime. And I'm just troubled that the lack of any sort of legitimate investigation into me would then convert into this extortion attempt.
I don't remember the woman you're speaking of or the context at all, honestly. But I...
Dude, it's so good. He's like, if I go down, you're coming with me, motherfucker. Okay? Everybody's coming with me. I'm bringing this ship down, baby.
I would like to know who... So they're saying there is a 17-year-old girl who you had a relationship with. Is that true? And who are they? Who is this girl? What are they talking about, the New York Times?
The person doesn't exist. I have not had a relationship with a 17-year-old. That is totally false.
He's like, I did it with a 16-year-old.
As I read it in the New York Times, is that I've traveled with some 17-year-old in some relationship. That is false, and records will bear that out to be false.
How long has this investigation been going on? Do you know?
I don't know.
When were you first informed of it?
Bro, Tucker is frazzled, okay? All right, so that's great. Let's see what fucking
in politics,
Mike Lindell had to say.
In
Michael Pillow.
Politics and over, the last 10, 20, 30 years, no one cared. No one paid attention. No one was looking at what they were doing.
I certainly didn't. I was on crack.
Right.
So how can conservatives love Michael Lindell, who is also a former crack addict, but hate Hunter Biden, who is also a former crack addict? Is it because Hunter Biden didn't create, like, the worst pillows known to man? A thing that I need to... Wait, why did he fucking reveal that? What do you mean? He's, like, very famously... He wrote a book about it. You got... Come on. You didn't know Mike Lindell was literally a fucking a crack addict? Because Hunter is a lame fail son and Mike is a real dude. Yeah, Mike is a real ass dude. Guys, stop shaming addicts. Dude, I'm literally pro Hunter Biden. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, the only reason why I make fun of Mike Pillow is... What have I said about Michael Pillow? Famously. I said he's the only person who got worse after quitting crack, okay? Like, Mike Pillow, literally on the planet, is the first and last person who will ever be worse off crack than he was on crack. Keep telling people Marion Barry was just ahead of his time. They're jealous of Hunter's fat hog and Mike isn't threatening to their masculine.
Right. Well, but
That's a good excuse. I can't really use that excuse myself, but
in politics.
I love that. He really fell off. Yeah, he fell off crack. And then quite literally fell off. So we did the lock him up stuff. Is there anything else we're missing? From Toilet Paper USA, introducing Mike Kilo. That's so stupid. My dad is extremely conservative and bought from Mike Pillow and was shocked by how uncomfortable the pillows were. He said it was like he did it on purpose. Dude, I bought Michael Pillow. They used to sell them at CVS. I know perfectly functional crackheads way cooler than Mike Lindell, but not as cool as Hunter Biden. Well, not many are. Bought that pillow before he was a thing and was so mad to find a stupid psalm fall out of the box. I don't know if you heard, but his pillows have a very weird chemical in them that can give people insane rashes and allergic reactions. I was not able to open my eyes for 2 days. Yeah, the insane chemical is called crack cocaine. Marjorie Taylor Greene, by the way, openly came out and basically said it once again.
That's not who the Republican Party should represent. We need to be the party of nationalism, and I'm a Christian, and I say it proudly. We should be Christian nationalists. And when Republicans learn to...
Like, it's like one of those, it's one of those, I mean, she's just saying it. Like, what the fuck? She really out here just saying it.
to represent most of the people that vote for them, then we will be the party that continues to grow without having to chase down certain identities or chase down, certain segments of people. We just need to represent Americans, and most Americans, no matter how they vote, really care about the same things. And I want to see Republicans actually do their job. That's not who the Republican Party should represent. We need to be the party of nationalism, and I'm a Christian, and I say it proudly. We should be Christian nationalists. And when Republicans learn to represent most of...
Dude, that's great. Judeo-Christian, by the way. Yeah, no, she dropped... Bro, I don't think... Did Margarine Titan Green ever even say Judeo-Christian? I feel like she never did, because she was always like... She was always just like hog the fuck up, right? I mean, she literally said Jewish space lasers was the reason for the fucking California wildfires, you know? Remember when the Republican Party staged an intervention for her and they were like, you're too anti-Semitic you're too anti-Semitic openly, so you need to go to a Holocaust museum and then write a book report about why the Holocaust was bad. That was so awesome. She didn't learn about the Holocaust until like a year ago, yeah. But part of the reason why she's like this is because, as a Turkish chatter actually correctly pointed out, they smelled the blood in the water. You know, Roe v. Wade, shit's popping off. They don't have to have any sort of safeguards anymore. They don't have to restrict their fucking narrative. They don't have to restrict their rhetoric at all. This is slowly but surely how you boil the fucking frog, you know? The Republican war on teachers continues to escalate. You would not trust these people to babysit your children for 20 minutes.
You would not trust these people to babysit your children for 20 minutes. And why should we then let them educate millions of American students 6 hours a day, year?
But you want to arm them. Like, that makes no sense. You do not trust these people to babysit your children for 20 minutes, but you want to give them a gun.
Year after year after year. Whatever it takes, the conservative movement must liberate America's children from the captivity of these Marxist teachers. You would not trust these people to babysit.
Laura Ingraham popped off. She had some, dude, the highlights of TPUSA, the summits are so good.
I'm here.
She decided to do a Kamala Harris impersonation.
I'm here in Tampa, speaking to a conference of young conservatives in Tampa gathered at a meeting that some would call a conference.
Like, not bad. She's getting the energy right.
In Tampa.
I hate to admit it, but like, kind of not bad. It's actually not bad.
I stayed in the. I'm here.
It's accurate, but so not funny. I mean, that line about Marxist teachers is always funny because I'm going to school to be a teacher, Lamau. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's not false. There's hella teachers in this community. How can you say this isn't bad? Because that's exactly how Kamala Harris speaks too. Like, she got a fucking stroke. Tucker Carlson, what news broadcast is this? Why do they look so wet?
To want to hunt down and
telling a first grader that you may have been born a boy, but maybe you're really a girl, that is wrong. That is inappropriate. And we need to focus on teaching these kids to read and write and add and subtract.
Dude, he is doing Trump mannerisms.
Of the tassel just beginning to show. And we probably didn't even have the ear started at that point. Now we're at the point of pollination. And so you have little seeds fall from the tassel onto what we call the silk. This is a strand, each strand leading to what's going to make a single kernel on this entire ear. A week ago,
Chuck Grassley, dude, I love him. Laura Trump says that after contracting COVID, Joe Biden should thank Trump for developing the vaccines. That's true. Zero lies. OAN correspondent showing off her new Second Amendment shirt. Let freedom bang. Love that. Not everyone here looks entirely thrilled about being in this photo with Dr. Oz today. Woman at a Trump rally this weekend is asked why she supports him. He loves the American people. He loves America. He's taking care of everything that's been destroyed. He's the only person who could probably fix this. We love him. We saw the Michael Pillow crack thing.
A lot of places we can go to get the truth as far as what's happening to our country. And I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you guys, how you stick your necks out, especially Steve Bannon. You know, all the way he's held himself through this whole January 6th crap is just very awe-inspiring to me. It's very inspiring. So I just want to...
Bro, she's talking about Steve Bannon, dude. God damn. Did you see the popular clip from the Trump Arizona rally where they booed his pick? Bro, she's crying about Steve Bannon. That's crazy. Steve Bannon does not have a single relative that probably feels that passionately about him.
I want to dedicate this.
Here's some fucking good news. Okay, here's some cool stuff. And then we'll get to the Nazis outside. Actually, we'll do the Nazis outside, and then we'll do Patty to Batty. You heard the Nazi they didn't let into the fucking Nazi conference because they were too openly Nazi. So they had to do the Nazi stuff outside the Nazi conference.
You think you're masquerading?
DeSantis supporters, Virgin Convention on the move. I mean, it's pretty funny, like that they're just, you know, this is what their power is now.
Fuck out of here. should be ashamed for not liking free speech.
You should be ashamed for not liking free speech. Like literally, all they needed to do was not have the swastika and stuff, and then they would have let them in. You know what I mean?
Jewish cock. Would you have a problem with that? What?
Anyway, oh, here, just an incredible exchange. Reporter, the White House has pledged to go beyond CDC guidance in caring for President Biden. If the White House thinks that that's the right approach for the president, shouldn't that be the right approach for Americans? Let's see what the CDC director had to say to that.
White House for a second. The White House has pledged to go beyond CDC guidance in caring for President Biden. For example, to make sure that he stays in isolation until he tests negative. If the White House thinks that's the right approach for the president, shouldn't that be the right approach for all Americans?
That's an interesting take from the Washington Post. I wonder why. Remember a time when the CDC decided to change that? That was really interesting. I wonder why the CDC decided to change that rule. Remember? And then like fucking Too Mad lost his mind and was saying that I was like a conspiracy theorist because I said that like the CDC was doing this openly because they were worried about people not being able to, like too many people losing out on work.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that the president's protocols likely go above and beyond and have the resources to go above and beyond what every American is able and has the capacity to do. As we put forward our CDC guidance, we have to do so that they are relevant, feasible, followable by Americans. And that is Americans that live in urban jurisdictions and rural jurisdictions, that have resources and less resources, that have work constraints and many other things. So when we put forward our guidance,
What's up? The president doesn't have work constraints?
we do so so that they reflect such that every American is able to follow them. We have said in our isolation guidance, that is guidance after you have been infected, that you really should stay home for those first 5 days. You shouldn't consider going out after those 5 days unless your symptoms have really fully resolved. And if they have, you should wear a mask if you decide to go out for those second 5 days. We also put in the option to go ahead and get a test. Not everybody has access to them, but to go ahead and get a test. And if your test remains positive, you would consider staying home until that test is negative, which is exactly what the president is doing.
Busy signing blank papers, no tied. That's what presidents do when they have COVID. Yeah, I mean that is what Trump did, and that's what Brandon is doing too. Interesting stuff from the CDC.